Hey guys, today's video is going to be a little bit different. Today I'm going to be talking about something that just happened to our channel. You guys may not have seen, but on September 15th, 2025, the AmethystRabbitt YouTube channel was terminated. And so I'm going to tell the story of kind of how everything played out and everything happened, and then afterwards I'm going to give my thoughts about the whole situation. I might have some kind of gameplay for the video in the background, but I'm also going to leave up screenshots of the email and different conversations and things that I had during this whole fiasco. So it's been a couple days since then at the time of recording this. I just haven't had a good time to sit down and record a video like this. But it was Monday. So Monday, September 15th, 2025. I got into work about 4 o'clock. I had music playing on my phone. I was logged into YouTube. I had YouTube music up, and I was using the AmethystRabbitt account for that. And everything is good, just doing my normal routine. And then about 30 minutes later at 4:30ish, my music just randomly stopped, which sometimes that happens. That wasn't really out of the ordinary. So I whip out my phone and I try pausing, I try playing again, but nothing's working. So I close out of the song. I try to go to the home page to try and pick something else to see if something's going on with that. But then it doesn't load. It just says we were unable to load this content or something like that. I'm not sure if I took a screenshot of that specifically because I didn't know what was going on at the time, but it didn't sign me out or anything like that. It didn't say anything. It just wouldn't load anything. So I was like, okay, is there something going on with YouTube right now? So I close out of YouTube music, I open up just regular YouTube app, and that's not loading either. So I'm like, this is strange. Okay, is something going on with my phone data right now? So I open up Google, I type something random into the Google search bar, and I just hit enter, and that's loading just fine. No problem. So I'm like, so it's not my phone connection. Is it a problem with YouTube itself? Is YouTube down right now? That's kind of weird. So I go online and I search the YouTube status. And everything says it's fine. Everything says it's up. But so I go into the app, try to load it again. Nothing's working. I close the app, try to load it again. Still not working. And just nothing's loading. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And I close out all my apps, put my phone away, and I went back to work. About 2 hours pass. So it's almost 6:30 at this point. And I try to open up YouTube again so I can listen to music while working or listen to a video while I'm working. And it's still not loading. And I thought, okay, it's not my internet that's the problem. And I know YouTube isn't going to be down for 2 hours. I've already reset my phone and everything. What is going on? So I tap on my little icon and I'm like, I'm going to try a different account and just see what's going on. So I tapped on it, and the different accounts popped up. Didn't say anything at that point. So I tap on my other account and everything loads just fine. So now I'm confused. So I'm like, okay, did that fix it? Since it's fixed now, I'm just gonna go back to my AmethystRabbitt channel because I have premium on that. I click on the icon, I click on the switch account button, and that's when it pops up. I got a list of my accounts, and right on the AmethystRabbitt one, it says error, unable to access, something along those lines. And I'm like, what? I tap on it, won't let me sign in. Tap on it again, won't let me sign in. Just does nothing. And I'm like, okay, this isn't cool. What the heck is going on? So at that point, I'm like, all right, something's really messed up here. So I check my emails. I went outside to do this. Originally, I was inside, but I had to step outside because I'm like, this isn't right. I go outside, I check my emails, and that's when my heart sank. 2 hours ago, around 4:30, I get the email from YouTube. I'm gonna pull it up so I can read straight from it if I knew how to work my phone. Sorry, technical difficulties. Oh, okay. I tried to archive my, I'll tell that story when I get to it, but, Hi, Jables M. We have reviewed your content and found severe or repeated violations of our spam, deceptive practices, and scams policy. Because of this, we have removed your channel from YouTube. We know this is probably very upsetting news, but it's our job to make sure that YouTube is a safe place for all. If we think a channel severely violates our policies, we take it down to protect other users on the platform. But if you believe we've made the wrong call, you can appeal this decision. You'll find more information about the policy in question and how to submit an appeal below. What our policy says: content that promotes spam, scams, or other deceptive practices is not allowed on YouTube. What? That was all I kept thinking. That was all I kept saying out loud is, what? My head started getting flooded with emotions and trying to figure out what the heck is, what could have possibly made this happen. And believe me, I had no idea. I was like, how could this have happened? This was like one of my biggest fears too. Like, I always try to be careful with like with what I post and like not getting copyright strikes and everything like that. And I thought I've been doing a pretty good job at that. But when I got this email, oh man, that was devastating. I instantly thought this has got to be some kind of mistake. So I messaged my girlfriend. I'm like, they just deleted my channel for no reason. I don't know what's going on. And then I started thinking, okay, what could have gotten me flagged? This has got to be a mistake, right? All right, so I'm thinking, did I use any copyright music? No, I've never gotten a copyright strike. I usually always use Zombies music because Kevin Sherwood doesn't copyright strike or copyright claim the Zombies music because he is a good man, all right? Anybody talking smack on Kevin Sherwood, I'ma smack you. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. And the email didn't say it was a copyright strike. It says scams, deceptive practices, and spam. So I thought, are my thumbnails too similar? I know I like to use that same font and color style, but that's not spam. I was just trying to keep a theme, you know what I'm saying? It's not a, you know, it's not very original theme or anything like that, but, you know, it's branding, it kind of in a way. But, so I thought it might be that. And then I thought, okay, did someone send a hate brigade against me? Did I piss someone off in Marvel Rivals and they got all their buddies to report my YouTube channel because they found my YouTube channel by searching up my name? I thought that might be what it was. And if you ever do that, you are a punk. Alright, I'm not gonna get into that. Anyways, I thought that might be what it was. And then I thought, scams or deceptive practices? Did somebody hack my account and then turn it into one of those like crypto farm scams that you usually see with like bigger channels? I'm like, why would they want to do that with my channel? I have 600 subscribers. I really thought that might have been what it was. So I went into my Google account and I was looking at login dates and activity and stuff like that, and there was nothing in there. It was nothing. So I didn't think it was that. I kept it in the back of my mind, though. I kept all these in the back of my mind. And I really couldn't pinpoint anything that I thought it was. So I went to Discord because I was just reaching out. I felt alone in that moment, and I didn't know, like, I couldn't even talk to you guys because, like, I don't have a Twitter or anything, like really any other social media except for the YouTube channel to talk to you guys. So that sucked. So I went to our Discord. If you don't know, we have a Discord channel for the JRZ, and I made it ping, and I never ping everyone on Discord. I'm really picky with my pinging, but this was a moment where I was like, no, I'm definitely pinging at everybody. Guys, I need help. Our channel was just taken down. I could really use your help right now because I'm not sure what to do next. And yo, you need to at YouTube or YouTube support on Twitter. And I'm like, I don't even have a Twitter. I did actually have a Twitter that I made whenever I made this Google account. I just never use it, so I just ended up going into that one, and I did not think anything of it, you know. Like, the amount of people that at YouTube, and, you know, you hear the horror stories where YouTube doesn't help the little guy, right? You know, they're too busy with the bigger fish in the sea. So, and I'm not saying that's true, but in that moment, that was, I totally felt that. I totally felt like I was screwed, like I was not gonna get help. We are too small of a channel. And I had also thought that my channel had been, I thought that in order for it to be terminated the way it was, I thought someone had to have looked at it, right? There's no way they could just terminate a channel just completely like that without warning, without a human being looking at it, right? But I know this is YouTube we're talking about. And so I was like, no, this has got to be some kind of bad AI detection thing, right? I had both those thoughts in my mind. So I tweeted at YouTube. I'm like, I really need help. I'm just a small zombies YouTuber. I don't know what's going on. If there's a problem, I will fix it, but I don't even know what the problem is. And that was such the the biggest frustration. Is I don't know, it doesn't tell you at all. It just says review our policies, and it's like, okay, but you have so many policies, I don't even know which one. You won't even give me it. You gave me 3 different categories that it could fall under through this email, and I don't even know if that was the right one. I didn't even know if you guys maybe made a mistake and sent the wrong email, and maybe it was a copyright problem, which it shouldn't have been, because I really try not to put copyright stuff on the channel for that reason. I don't want to go 4 years from now and end up losing videos or having to mute videos because of copyrighted stuff in them, you know what I mean? And so I put the tweet out, and I had to let it be. After I let it be, I got more messages from you guys on Discord. Hero came out of nowhere, and he commented on YouTube. I made a... Oh, no, that was afterwards. Marmito came into the chat, and he shared his condolences, and I thank him for that. Thank you, Mar. Thank you, Marcel, for... I needed something, you know, because I just felt so, like... Oh, man. I hate asking for help, and in hindsight, I'm super embarrassed by it, but in that moment, it just sucks so bad. After that, I didn't hear anything for 6 hours. Okay, let's talk about the appeal process, okay? In the email, it says, if you think we made a mistake, you can send in an appeal, and so I tried to do that. I filled out the form, and I submitted it, and then I got an email like 5 minutes later that said, the user, or the channel URL that you have entered does not match any YouTube channels. I'm like, oh no. At first, I just typed out https://youtube.com/AmethystRabbitt, right? So I'm like, okay, I gotta try this again. I did everything, I filled it out again. I hated you know, it was a pain in the butt having to retype. You have to explain why you think the termination was a mistake to the best of your ability, and so, you know, you want to be as detailed as you can, right? So I retyped everything out, and that sucked. And I'm doing this all on a phone, by the way, while I'm at work. I'm supposed to be working, but instead I'm outside because I'm freaking out over my YouTube channel. I fill out the form again, and I'm trying to find my proper channel URL, right? So I can't get it on YouTube because it won't let me access the account anymore, and if I search for my channel on YouTube, it's not there. So I tried Google. It wasn't even on Google. There was no trace of our channel anymore, and that was heartbreaking. That was like, oh my gosh, this is actually real. So I couldn't get a URL that way, so I freaked out, and I messaged Robo. I'm like, Robo, please answer the phone. And it was like 2 or 3 in the morning for him, so he's asleep, and he was on vacation too, by the way. He was in freaking Egypt. But I figured if anyone would have a link to my account, it would be him. So I tried him first, but then I thought, okay, I have my section in the Discord channel that I can go to and try to get a link that way. So I copied that link, and I put it in, and I submitted it, and it went through. But then I got another email 5 minutes later that said, this is not a proper channel URL. So I'm like, oh shit. So I'm freaking out. YouTube responds to me on Twitter, and it says, the first steps you need to take is filing an appeal. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And it was relieving when I got a response on Twitter from the YouTube support or whatever it is. That felt really good. That took a lot of weight off my shoulders, even though it was a very, you know, support-esque response. It felt like a bot response, and it might have been, but it was just relieving to hear something, and that fast too. It was, you know, you would expect these things to maybe take like 10 or 12 hours, maybe at minimum. I don't know. I've never had to do this before, so I don't know. And so I responded. I'm like, I've tried to a couple times now, and it's saying I can't access, I can't get the proper channel URL. And so I go back to my emails, and then I realize that I'm an idiot, okay? In this email that they send you about the termination, they literally give you your channel URL. Like, I was trying to fill out this form for like 25 to 35 minutes, and it just was not working, and that was embarrassing. I felt stupid, but so I'm like, okay, let's try to get this to work. I copy the address, put it in, submit it, but 5 minutes later I get a response, this is not a proper channel URL. So I'm like, come on, this is the URL you guys sent me in the email. So I'm like, I'll just try this again. Maybe I didn't copy it right. I copy the address again. This time I hit copy link text instead of copy link address, and I put it in and submitted it, and I didn't get an email saying that it didn't go through this time. I wasn't getting anything that was saying that, so I was hoping it went through. And then 6 hours go by while I'm at work, I'm mad. I'm going through all the stages of grief. Anger, sadness, defeat. I'm trying to bargain. I'm like, do I start over? Like, am I just supposed to give up, or do I start over? But can I even start over? Because technically this email says that I'm not allowed to make any more channels. I didn't know what I was gonna do. And I'm thinking the whole time, what could have done this? And I was standing there doing a task. I was focusing on the spam part of what the email had said, and then I kind of had an epiphany, and I thought, wait a minute, there is something on my channel that's very, very similar, and it might have been looked at as spam, that I did almost 3 years ago. And that was when I posted my hvae world record run. I recorded the entire run, and it was like, I can't remember off the top of my head, it was in between 10 to 13 hours. And this was like when I first started YouTube, like one of the first ever, like, I think it was like the third thing I uploaded. But the thing is I had a really shitty computer, okay? Sorry for my French. I tried to edit everything together, but the problem was the recording box that I was using at the time would only record in 15 to 17 minute segments. It wouldn't miss any footage, like it would record everything, like it wouldn't miss a single second, but it would cut it up into 15 to 17 minute parts. So in order to get the whole gameplay into one video, I would have to stitch them all together in a video editor and then export it. But I wasn't able to do that with my computer because it was such a piece of garbage that it would overheat and the computer would crash and shut off every single time, no matter what I did. It was that bad. I was putting ice packs on it to try and keep it cool enough just so it wouldn't crash, but that didn't work either. So I bit the bullet and I said, I'm gonna upload every individual part to YouTube because I want to get this up now. And it turns out that was 35 videos, 35 segments for the entire run. And mind you, this was before I started talking in my videos, before I started giving commentary, and so there's no commentary on the videos. And the gameplay is very similar and repetitive because all I'm doing is fire trap strat the whole time. Past the first video, like, it basically is identical every other part after that. I mean, it's not because, you know, every round is different, but whatever. But the worst part of it was my thumbnails for those videos. They were the exact same for all 35 videos, except for the fact that I changed the part number on them. So, like, it'll say part 1 out of 35 or part 2 out of 35, and that was the only thing I changed about those thumbnails. And that's when it freaking hit me. I guarantee that the AI, they have some sort of AI system that identifies content like that, or content farmers that try to re-upload the same thing over and over again in order to farm views, you know? And I'm like, they must have thought my channel was one of those just because of my hvae uploads. And that's when it all started making sense. That's the only thing that does make sense. So I stewed on it for a while. It's getting to closing time. We're getting ready to leave. It's about midnight at this point. It's past midnight, actually. I clock out of my shift. I'm getting ready to walk outside, and I'm checking my emails. And that's when I finally got the best news that I could get. I'll read the email out for you guys here. Hi, Jables M. We have reviewed your appeal for the following. Channel, AmethystRabbitt. After taking another look, we can confirm that your channel does not violate our community guidelines. Thanks for your patience while we reviewed this appeal. Our goal is to make sure content doesn't violate our community guidelines so that YouTube can be a safe place for all. And sometimes we make mistakes trying to get it right. We're sorry for any frustration our mistake caused you, and we appreciate you letting us know how this affects your channel. To make this right, we've put your channel back up on YouTube. And that was awesome. That felt really good. So I immediately opened up YouTube. I signed back into my accounts. I noticed that one of my other accounts had instead been, I haven't checked on it since then because I really don't care about that account, but it was flagged. But that account only had one upload on it, so I don't know why that one has a problem right now or why it's terminated. So I might look into that, but I wasn't worried about it. All I care about is this channel because this is my only uploading channel. I've had channels in the past when I was like a preteen that I've uploaded on, but not more than like 20 videos at most. And I was a little kid, like I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, but this channel means so much more to me. And I always said that this is something that I can commit to when I can, and it's something that I don't want to give up on. And those 6 hours it was mental gymnastics, and I know, like, looking back on it, like I was probably over exaggerating and everything, and it's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. Like I hated asking for help and seeming like a drama king whenever my channel was up 6 hours later it was back up. But man, it was rough. And now I guess I gotta give my thoughts about a couple of things, even though I have been doing that sort of. First of all, I gotta give credit where credit's due, okay? I really do, because I always try to be fair. I was so thankful and so surprised that YouTube responded so quick. In the email, it says that in order to appeal, you need to respond like immediately, like as soon as you can. Like there's a very short time to get your channel recovered. And 2 hours had passed before I even realized that there was a problem. And so I'm glad that I was really worried about that. And that, oh yeah. I'm thankful for YouTube for acting as fast as they did, even for a small content creator like our channel. I really wasn't expecting it because you hear the horror stories about smaller channels not getting any support or but in my experience that wasn't the case all around. When I reached out to people in our Discord, I got a response from our community, which was awesome, and it pointed me in the right direction. And when I tried to contact YouTube on Twitter, they responded in a decent amount of time. It was a couple hours, but YouTube is huge and they have a lot of people adding at them, I'm sure. And I was a nobody who had never made a tweet before, so getting a response from them was pretty awesome. And I don't know how often that is. And then when I put in the appeal and when it correctly went through, I got our channel back up without me having to do anything after that. There was no follow-up or anything like that. And so that was really good. I'm thankful for YouTube for getting that support taken care of. That being said, this was a shit show. There is a serious problem with this AI detection stuff on YouTube, because I don't believe that YouTube should be automatically terminating channels that AI sees as a potential spam channel just because of similar thumbnails. My thumbnails were not exactly the same. Technically, the numbers were different, so I don't know what kind of metadata or what kind of percentage they're going off of to flag that in their system, but that's not okay, especially because I'm going to talk about legacy YouTube accounts, and I like to refer to YouTube or legacy YouTube accounts as like those channels that are old, or those channels that were abandoned, or the YouTube accounts that the owners had passed away, unfortunately. But there's nobody to access those accounts anymore, but they're a part of, history, whether people watch those channels or not back in the day. That's a part of, like, I don't believe those channels should be taken down. I have legacy YouTube channels that I will never be able to have access to again that I don't want taken down. Those are memories. But what's gonna happen when this AI detects that these videos are somehow spam or deceptive? Because back in the day, nobody thought you were gonna get in trouble for having very similar thumbnails. Having thumbnails in general was at one point in time not even a thing. You had randomly generated thumbnails. So for someone that could make thumbnails and do gaming videos and stuff like that, they're not gonna make a different thumbnail every time. Not everybody's gonna do that. So what's gonna happen to those legacy channels that get detected by the AI systems, but there's no nobody there to appeal. They're just gone. How many channels have been lost already because of it? We don't even know. And there's no way we're going to know. It's not okay. It's really not, right? Am I crazy for thinking that? Listen, I know there are bad actors on this platform. There always have been, and there probably always will. And I appreciate YouTube for trying to take steps to take care of those problems. But if AI is going to potentially flag channels, whether it's a legacy channel or an active channel currently posting, and just get rid of it right off the spot without any human intervention before that happens, oh, that's bad. That is not good. You know how much history is going to be lost? How much personal memories are going to be lost? What happens if a channel like Red gets flagged for potential spam because a lot of his videos is just high squeaky videos with the same antics over again? Granted, I don't think the AI will detect something like that, and this isn't about whether you like Fred or not. I'm just asking the question of how far is it gonna go and how many people is it gonna affect? You know, this whole AI stuff that's going on right now, you know, it's getting out of hand way too fast. You cannot terminate a channel with AI before an actual human looks at it, because an AI is not going to be able to determine if it's spam or if it's not, because there's a human factor in that. An AI is looked at those thumbnails, I'm assuming, by the way, I can't tell for sure because YouTube never followed up. They never told me the exact reason why it happened. I tried asking, but I didn't get a response, but I didn't want to poke the bear too bad, you know? I just got my channel back. I'm thankful for that. Granted, this video might be poking the bear a little bit, but we need to poke this bear, because there's no way a human looked at that situation and said, this is spam, or this is deceptive. No, it was just a dumb guy trying to put a zombies video out there. But, yeah, oh man. The appeal process sucked because granted, I should have been able to find that channel URL because it was right there in the email, but I feel like that process could have been a little bit simpler. Even though it was pretty simple, it was only like one page that you had to fill out, and you know, you had to give details and everything, but it wasn't too bad for what it was. If you are a content creator, no matter how big you are, whether you have no followers or you have 400 million followers, you need to save your content. You need to back up all of your videos, anything you have made on YouTube. You need to make sure you save it to a separate hard drive or wherever you save those things, because YouTube is not a safe place for that. And granted, I know that should probably be common sense, but for anybody who needs to hear it, I want you to be able to hear it from me if that's the case. Please save your work. Don't just post it on YouTube and think it's gonna be okay, even because you play it safe. Because even if you play it safe, mistakes are gonna happen. And if mistakes are gonna happen, I don't want it to happen to you when you're gone and you can't save your channel or the stuff you've made because they made a mistake. And I know these are just zombie videos, you know, we're not exactly, you know, performing miracles here, but it's personal and it's hard work, and it's not everybody gets attached to their YouTube channel, but the ones who do really do. And having your entire outlet and creative process and work get deleted over a mistake is one of the worst feelings, because you're constantly asking yourself, what did I do wrong? When sometimes you didn't do anything wrong. Oh, I'm sure I have a lot more to say about this, but I have been going on for quite a while now, and I gotta give my voice a break and get some stuff done around the house. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate your support throughout the years and your support throughout this little fiasco. I'm thankful YouTube was able to fix everything, but I'm really upset that it happened in the first place. I get mistakes happen, but if this was because of AI, you guys really need to reevaluate it, because there are going to be people who can't appeal or don't know how to appeal, or you know, that are gonna lose the stuff that they created because of mistakes, and that is heartbreaking. Rhythmic Poet, if you're watching this, I really appreciate your support lately. It's motivating, and I don't want to get too sappy or nothing like that. I want to keep things rolling. Sorry for the the inconsistent upload schedule. I don't want to make any excuses, but life is what it is, and I just keep trying my best to make these videos for you guys if you guys want to watch them. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions about this situation, I'll try to answer them, and I'll see you guys in the next zombies video. I'll try to get it up either tomorrow or the next day. Try to get this video a little bit of breathing room. But anyways, peace out, guys.
What is going on, guys? My name is Jables, and today I will be talking to you guys about a brand new series on YouTube called Battle of Clans.